Hello students, welcome once again to another section. Now in this section we are going to solve a question on the center of mass. Now we have to find the center of mass of the triangle with vertices 0 and 0, -4 and 2, and then also we have 0 and 6. So first, before we find the center of mass of the triangle, we first need to we first need to sketch to see how the triangle will look like on a Cartesian plane. Then also after that we find the area of that particular region. After that we can then find the movement in the s and the y direction. Then after that we can therefore go on and therefore calculate the center of mass of the triangle. So that is what we are going to do in this case. So quickly let's give a quick sketch of that. So we realized that on the y-axis we only need the positive side, right? So the positive side on the y-axis, and also the x-axis we only require the negative side. All right, so we can have something like this, right? So we can have let's say we have 6 here, we have 4 here, and let's say we have 2 here, right? Then we can also get so we can have the x-axis, we have the y here, then over here we can have -1, let's say -2, -3, and then -4, right? Okay, so in the first vertex we have 0, which is just here, right? 0 0. We have -4 on the x-axis here, and then +2 on the y-axis, which means that they are meeting at this point here. Then also for the last vertex we have 0 on the x-axis, then 6 on the y-axis, which is just dead, right? So let's join the lines. When we join the lines, this is what we are going to get, right? All right, so realize that it looks like a triangle, right? Now with this side over here, we can get the area. You can get this side here, equation of this side here as remember the intercept is just 6, so we can have s plus 6 here. Then over here we can have the equation here as -1/2x here, right? Okay, so since we have the equation for both of that side, now what we are going to do next is to find the area, right? Now we have two parts, right? So let's call this f of x being equal to that, and let's say f g of s being equal to that. So in this case, the area, sketching the area, after we sketch, we find the area that, remember, is from 0 here all the way to -4. So we have 0, -4. We can have f of s, we can have f of x here, then minus g of x here, then the x, right? So the area here will just be the integral 0 to -4. F of s here is just x plus 6, remember. So we have s plus 6 here, then also minus g of s, which is just -1/x here, then we have the x here. Now we can further simplify that. So we just have x here, then plus half x here, we just give us so x here, then plus half x here is just 3/2 x, then we are just left with 6 here, then the x. So let's integrate that. So integrating this, we just have remember it's 3/2, so we have 3/2 here. What we do, we add 1 to the exponent here, then it becomes s squared, then we divide, right? So it's just going to be 3/4 here, then s squared, then plus 6s here. So we have this going to 0 and -4. So let's continue here. All right, so let's do that here. So we realize that when we insert 0 here, the 0 part goes away, and we are just left with this part, which is just 3/4 here. Then we have -4 squared here, plus 6 here, -4, just -4. So we have this and that, and the area here. Now when we compute this, so when we compute the whole of this, we are just going to have the answer to be 12 here, right? So the answer is just going to be 12. Then from here, what we are going to do next is to find the moment, right? So basically the mass of the center of mass of the particle is just going to be the m here, the general m here equal to the density here multiplied by the area, and we had the area to be 12, so m here is just going to be the density here, then we have 12 here, right? So let's leave it this way. Now the next thing is to find the two moments, right? So we are going to find the two moments which is moving in the s direction and also in the y direction, right? So now for the s direction, it is given by density here, integral from, it's from 0 to -4. Then we have half, so we can have since there are two equations, we can have f of s squared here minus g of x here squared, then dx, right? So the moment here is just going to be the density here, 1 over 0 here, -4 here, we have 1 over 2 here. This is just s plus 6 here squared minus we have g of s being -1 over x here, right, squared, then the x here. So from here we are just going to get m x here, we have 0 -4, then we have so over here what we are going to do is to expand this, right? So let's have the half here. Expanding this, we just have s squared plus 12 x here plus 36 here, then plus 1 over 2 x, so it's squared here, right? So it's just going to be -1 here, 2 squared will just be 4, then s squared, then the x here, right? So when we divide through by half, then we are just going to left with over here we just have s squared over 2 here, then we have minus 1 over 4, 1 over 8 s squared, and that one is just going to give us so what I'm trying to say is we have s squared here over 2, right? Sorry, over 2, then we have 1 over 2 multiplies that, so we have negative s squared here over 8, right? Then 2 divides that, we are just going to left with 6x here, then over here we just have 18 here, then the x. So when we put this together here, right, we are just going to get when we compute this, we just get 3 over 4 s squared plus 6x here plus, all right, so we have 3 over 8, sorry, then 6s plus we are just going to get 18 here, then the s. So from here we integrate now, so let's integrate here. So from here we have a moment in the s direction, density here, so integrating this we have 3 over, now it will be plus 3 here, then we divide it over here, so we are just going to get 8 multiplied by 3, which is just 24 s cubed. Then over here we have 6s squared divided by 2, which will just be 3s squared. Then also we have 18x here, then we have with 0 and then -4, right? Okay, so from here we have mx being equal to the density here. We realize that when insert 0 into it, the 0 part is just going to be 0, then minus 3 over 24 here, then we have -4 cube plus 3 -4 squared plus 18 here, -4 here, so we have negative throughout here. So the moment in the s direction is just going to give us when we compute the whole of this, then we should get 32 as the moment in the s direction. Then also we do that one for the y direction, which is the density integral 0 to -4, then we have x multiplying the f of s minus the g of s, which are the two equations we had. So over here we're just going to get so we just insert f of s, which is just s plus 6 here, then g of s here, which is just -1 over 2, so it's just going to be positive 1 over 2 x here dx. So we group like terms here, and we are just left with so we group like terms here, so we have 1 here plus 1 over 2 here, So grouping items here, we have 3 over 4 here, so 3 over 2 x squared plus 6 here dx, right? And therefore multiplying through by x, then we have 3 we have x here, so we have 3 over 2 x squared, then plus 6x here, then dx, right? Now from here we integrate, right? So integrating this, we just have we add 1 to it, we have 3 here, we divide by the 3, so it gets rid of the 3 at the top. We just have x cubed over 2 here, then plus we have squared here, we divide by the 2, then we are just going to left with 3 x squared here, then we have 0 and then negative 4 here. All right, so when we insert in the values, then we are just going to get over here we are just going to get density here, right? Now you realize that the 0 part goes away, everything here, when insert 0 here, insert 0 here, it goes to 0, then minus of we have negative 4 cube over 2 plus 3 negative 4 squared here. And when we compute all of this together, then we are just going to get my, right? Remember, movement in the y direction here is just going to be so movement in the m direction here, density here, so we are just going to have negative 16 here. So if that is the case, then therefore the coordinates, right, of the center of mass right, is given by, in the x direction we have the moment of x here, then all over the general m, and then also the y here is just going to be the moment in the y here, then all over that. So we got ms as density 32, then also the general mass here, we got it as 12 here, then we had my, which is just density of negative 16 here, right, being divided by the general one we had, right? So density will get rid of densities, then also we have 32 here divided by 12, which is just equal to 8 over 3, right? Then also negative 16 here divided by 12 here, and we are just going to get negative 4 over 3. So from here we have this, so therefore we can conclude that the center of mass here is, so we have negative 4 over 3, then also 8 over 3 here. So that will be the center of mass of that. So thank you very much for joining me in this section. I hope this session was helpful, and I'll see you in another section.